Hello everyone and welcome to Capitol Watch for Friday, April 17th, our weekly look at the Missouri General Assembly. And joining us from our governmental relations offices in Jefferson City is our Associate Executive Director for Advocacy and our Chief Lobbyist, Mike Reed. And Mike, once again this week, one of the major issues before the General Assembly was the student transfer law, and we now have bills in conference committee on that, don't we?
Yes, the student transfer bill, House Bill 42, is going to conference. It will be in conference next week. The Senate put some ideas on it, and which was originally a House bill. Now those differences between the House and the Senate will have to be worked out. It looks as if the bill will probably have an expansion of charter schools into both St. Louis County and Jackson County, and there's still some question about where does the expansion on virtual schools come. This bill is an important bill, but it's not a virtual expansion or a charter expansion. It's a transfer bill, and it should be written very closely and carefully written to make sure that it answers the problems of what happens when students transfer from unaccredited to districts, and to make sure that districts do not go bankrupt when the students do transfer. So it's walking a very fine line. It'll be some interesting negotiations this next week. I expect the bill to be finished by the end of next week and perhaps voted on the week after that. So that may be finished before the end of session.
And Mike, our preference, of course, continues to be the House version of the bill. That is pretty much a clean version, isn't it?
Yes, we really appreciate we appreciate the work the Senate did, but we really like the bill as it came out of the House, and we encourage the members to support the House version of that piece of legislation and keep it as clean as possible towards the House version. Yes.
Another issue, Mike, that now is in conference committee is the state budget, and of course that includes funding for public education. Where do we stand on that?
Well, it's still in flux. The state budget, the Senate did some ideas that were different from the House. As we are filming this, there's some negotiations are taking place. It looks as if that the dam is about to be broken, and there will be some negotiations and moving forward on the state budget. That being said, there's some question on cuts to various social service agencies and whether those will be restored or not. Once those questions are answered, then we'll know how much money will be available for public education, for elementary and secondary education. So again, it'll be in conference for the next week. Hopefully it'll be finished by the end of next week also.
Mm-hmm. So Mike, we're looking at an increase possibly somewhere in the neighborhood of $84 million in that range.
We would hope the House put in approximately $74 million. The Senate put in $84 million extra for the budget. We would really hope that it stays with the Senate position, because if that's the position, that is very close to making sure that we are not hurt. No district is hurt by the proration factor in the foundation formula. So that's where we're pushing for. Hopefully that's the amount of money that we will be getting. We'll know more about that next week.
And of course, Mike, we still remain significantly underfunded on the formula, don't we?
Yes, we do. The Senate did change the way that the formula is figured out and reined it in slightly, but it still doesn't matter. And that's in the Senate bill, in House Bill 42, which may or may not stay. All that being said, we're still underfunded in the formula. It's still underfunded between $400 million, and if the Senate changes go through, $250 million, but that's still an appreciable amount of money. Yes, we have not fully funded the formula 10 years after it was passed.
Mm-hmm. So Mike, we just have a few weeks left in this current session. We're really heading into the home stretch now. Are there any other issues related to education that you think might have some momentum as we approach the end of the session?
Yes, there are a number of bills that are out there, including a bill that was just passed the House this week dealing with students making sure that before they graduate from high school must be exposed to CPR training. That will be in a health class. That has had a hearing in the Senate and will probably go through. There's also the special education bill that we discussed last week, Senate Bill 365. That bill got changed quite a bit during the week, and there's still some more tweaks that need to be made on it. It got changed for the better. There's still some question about the wording on how districts can hire attorneys to work on these situations, and we're working on that with the sponsor, and he's very open to suggestions. And there are just a myriad of other bills dealing with education. There's the retirement bill that seems to be moving. So there are a lot of moving pieces. As it gets closer, these bills will be tacked on to other bills. So yes, there's quite a bit still moving in the General Assembly.
So as we look ahead to next week, Mike, sounds like the two big issues will be the conference committees on the transfer bill and also on the state budget. Is that right?
That is correct. Those are the two big issues for next week.
All right. Mike Reed, thanks a lot for being with us. We appreciate it very much. And of course, as the legislature winds down its session, we'll be continuing to keep you up to date through our Legislative Voice newsletter on Fridays, our daily blog on the website, and of course, this program as well. And we'll be issuing critical issue alerts as needed for the remainder of the session. Thanks a lot for joining us on this edition of MSBA's Capitol Watch.